Right Honourable Member, as a member of Parliament for the good people of Impraiso, if Asiedu Nketia doesn't work out of this chamber, nothing will go.
Asiedu Nketia is not going anywhere. Asiedu Nketia is not going anywhere today. Asiedu Nketia is you. He has every right. We know you. You want to bring the body.
Asiedu will leave. He must leave. We will not condone this something. What do you think you are? Nothing of what I say. Get us out of your road. Let's go.
Honourable members, honourable members, the request
Honourable members on the majority side, everybody should walk out. Let's walk out. Walk out. Walk out. Everybody, rise up and let's go. Rise up and let's go. Rise up. Let's go. Let's go. Yes, speaker.
Honourable members, Honorable members, I refer you to Order 104. It says, in the case of grave disorder arising in the House, Mr. Speaker may, if he thinks it necessary to do so, adjourn the House without question put, or, honorable members, this is part of grave disorder. I repeat, you should have read it, so you know what it involves. So when I say read and you don't read, and I want to draw your attention to it, listen. At the end of the day, you have the opportunity to raise objection. Honorable Mama Yarga, I can't be wrong so far as this matter is concerned. Please sit down. You are not undermining my authority. You are undermining the authority of Parliament, not me. I've been here 28 years, clean. Order 104. In the case of grave disorder arising in the House, Mr. Speaker may, if he thinks it necessary to do so, adjourn the House without question put, or suspend the sitting till a time to be named by him. And so, I am going to suspend the sitting. Yes.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, with the greatest of respect, our colleagues walked out. Mr. Speaker, so many times this House, one side of the House had walked out for one reason or the other. Mr. Speaker, each time they do, business of the House continues. And Mr. Speaker, with the greatest of respect, I want to refer you to Order 82, where I'm calling for the withdrawal of the earlier motion on the request of the Finance Minister that you wanted us to put the question. And with joy leave, I read. A member who has proposed a motion may withdraw it, but if the motion has been seconded, he may do so only by the leave of the House. And Mr. Speaker, I want to plead that
Which motion?
there was no motion.
Please.
He made a request. He made a request. And Mr. Speaker, you followed the request with a question. And we were to move into division when our colleagues opposite walked out. And Mr. Speaker, I want to plead with you that we stand down that request so that we can put the question on the budget statement, because we believe that the House started with over 270 of us. And we'll be grateful, Mr. Speaker, that you put the question to the budget statement so that this House will continue.
Honorable Minority Chief, you don't know the state in which the Speaker is in. You haven't even listened to how many minutes I'm going to suspend the House. Where you sit, you can at any time move out and come back. Where I sit, I can only move out through a suspension. or adjournment. So when I request for a suspension, you must be humane and you must listen to me. Definitely, you cannot understand this procedure more than me. I've lived it for how many years now? Please. I will suspend proceedings for 5 minutes. Honorable members, let me thank you for your indulgence. The Speaker was under pressure, and having had the opportunity of 5 minutes suspension, I thought it was wise to at least get a few words together to read, so that it will be part of the records as to what has happened. And that is the reason why I've taken more than the 5 minutes. The pressure was just a few minutes. Honorable members, as you are already aware, the House has concluded the debate on the budget statement and economic policy of government for the 2022 financial year. Ordinarily, as Speaker, it is my duty to put the question on the motion. But you may recall that the Honorable Majority Leader had earlier on put in a request for the Minister of Finance to make a prayer, which request I put before the House. Given where we were in the process, it was not within my power to just grant that prayer without the leave of the House. And it's that leave I was seeking. Seeking the leave of the House has resulted in the disorder we just witnessed. The rules are very clear. The honorable members on the majority side opted for a division, not a head count. And Order 114 gives elaborate procedure on the matter of division, which I read to the House. At the moment, the majority members have walked out of the chamber because of the cacophony. I did not even know why there was that much noise on the side of the majority. And so I kept on trying to get them to understand that they should pass their concerns to their leaders, so that I give the opportunity for the leaders to articulate why there was that disorder in that part of the House. I did not get it until they started moving out. And later, a paper was passed on to me that they were insisting that the General Secretary of the NDC should leave the public gallery before the question is put. This is where we are now. I wasn't even given the opportunity to decide whether to let him be at the public gallery or not. I wasn't given that opportunity, and they walked out. So this is the stage we have reached. The question is whether we should proceed now. As you know, this is a national budget affecting all the citizens who are relying on us to do what is best for them. Honorable members, I'll proceed to read in detail Order 114, which we were just following to implement. I did not decide to use division. The majority opted for the division. And so I was compelled to follow the standing orders on division. And it says, Standing Order 1141, in the case of a division, Mr. Speaker shall direct that the lobbies be cleared. And upon such direction being given, the division bells shall be rung for 1 minute. After a lapse of 2 minutes from this direction, he shall put the question, and Mr. Speaker shall declare whether in his opinion the ayes or noes have it. If his opinion is again opposed, he shall announce the names of 2 tellers for the ayes and 2 for the noes, and shall direct a division be held. This is where we were following. And so I directed that the lobbies be cleared. I directed that the division bells be rung for 1 minute, and then the 2 minutes were to lapse. And now I put the question again. And the purpose of division is to make sure that you clear from the House all those who are not qualified by law to participate in the decision taking. In this case, the voice vote. That is why you clear the division. I've seen it practiced in other parliaments. We ourselves have practiced it before. And you recall one time that we did not practice division, and they did head count alone. The number on the other side was more than the number of the members in the House. And we had to struggle to know who was the unqualified person who voted. I was here. That time, K.E.K. Tachi was the clerk of Parliament. And so the purpose of division is to get anybody who cannot vote to be out, to leave only qualified members to now vote using the voice vote. That is what the standing order says. And now it will not be that other people might have added their voices to what the one side or the other would have done. And you know, 1142 says, the names of members voting in the division in the House shall be recorded by division clerks immediately before members pass out from the ayes and noes lobbies. So it cannot be any other member, but members qualified to do what? To vote, whose name shall be recorded. That's exactly the process I was following. And they shall be counted by the tellers as they pass out of the lobby doors. Honorable members, this is what the rule of law means to the law. We are bound by the law. Since the majority who opted for the division have also opted to walk out, walkouts are permitted. And as a minority leader, I led a number of walkouts. That did not prevent the House from going on with the business. The 7th Parliament, a number of them occurred, and the House went on with the business. This House thinks that there's nothing wrong with that procedure. and therefore the House will proceed with the business of the House. Honorable members, I would have ordinarily put the question and listened to the voice vote. Because there have been a walkout, I want a head count so that we get to know the number in the House and whether we satisfy the constitutional requirement of taking a decision, which we know the quorum of the House will take a decision. Quorum of the House. You are at liberty to refer to your constitution and see the numbers required for quorum of the House. Yes, Deputy Minority Whip. I saw you on your feet, that's why I gave you the opportunity.
Mr. Speaker, I've been giving superior advice. Thank you.
Oh, what kind of superior advice is that? Honorable members, for the avoidance of doubt, Article 102 says, a quorum of Parliament, apart from the person presiding, shall be 1/3 of all the members of Parliament. That is the quorum of Parliament. And that quorum permits us to transact business, to go on with the business. That is what I want to satisfy myself with and all of you before we proceed. And that is why I refer to that. And so we can only do that by getting the numbers present in the House. And therefore I'll put the question and we'll go by head count. Those in favor of the request, which has been described as prayer of the Minister of Finance for more time to do consultation with leaders of the House, and therefore not to put the question today. Those in favor of that request, please stand out and be counted. Those against that request, please kindly stand up to be counted. Please, table office, do the counting. Honorable members, you may now resume your seats. The results. Those in favor of the request, that's the prayer of the Minister of Finance for more time to do consultation with the leadership, 0. That's nil. Those against the requests of the Minister for Finance for more time for consultation with the leadership, 137. So the noes have it, and the request is accordingly lost. Now I proceed to put the question on the motion. The question is, those in favor of the approval of motion number 11 on the order paper, which says, and I read, that this Honorable House approves the budget statement and economic policy of the government for the year ending 31st December 2022. Those in favor of the motion say aye. Those against the motion say no. Honorable members, clearly the noes have it. Is accordingly lost. Honorable members, honorable members, early in the days after my election as a speaker, I did pledge to the good people of this country, through you, that I will do everything in my power not to obstruct government business. I did so expecting reciprocity, that government will also do everything not to frustrate or obstruct the business of Parliament. As your Speaker, I will do all I can not to allow government to obstruct or frustrate Parliament in its lawful duty. That is a pledge to the good people of Ghana. And there's good reason why the good people of Ghana elected this parliament to be a hung parliament. Those who pretend to say near hung, is a hung parliament of 137, 137. The independent who decided to do business with one side made them majority group. There is no majority party in this house. I want to repeat it. There is no majority party in this house. And so I want to thank those of you who have been able to patiently wait up to this time for us to finish the business of the day. This is a new beginning where for the first time a majority has walked out from its own business. I want to end here, and I want to proceed in the absence of any further business to adjourn the House, unless leadership will want to say a few words. In the absence of any other business to transact, and since leadership has no more concerns for today, the House will have to adjourn. Yes, Minority Leader. Yes, please. Honorable Suhini. It's 9 minutes to 8 p.m. Honorable members, the House is adjourned to Tuesday next at 10 o'clock in the forenoon. The House is accordingly adjourned.
What for you is your reading of all that is going on? They've even asked that you, as the GS of the opposition NDC, walks out because it, so to speak, affects the decision that the House will be taking. What's your reading of all of this?
Oh, but they have not given the reason, they have not explained to you how it affects their decision. Because this is public gallery. This place is not the floor, and it cannot be interpreted to be part of the floor where non-members cannot be. So this is public gallery, and it sounds very interesting to me that they are not asking that anybody should go, and they are singling me out to leave. For what reason? I'm a citizen of this country. I'm a former member of parliament here for 12 years. And besides that, I'm a board member of the Parliament of the Republic of Ghana. So who can say that I should walk out? They are frustrated, and they just want to hang their... I have always said that if you are frustrated, your cow gets lost, and you are frustrated, and you are looking for that cow. Out of frustration, you may be looking into a hen coop, thinking that that is where the cow is hiding. That is what is happening to them. And if you want the speaker to direct that somebody should leave, you have your standing orders. Why are you not referring to the standing orders? Because the House is the House of orders. Show me any part of the standing orders which says that when Parliament is sitting, and it is not a closed sitting, anybody can drive members of the public from the public gallery when those at the public gallery have not misbehaved. This is public gallery, and Parliament is the house of the people. That is why in every Parliament house there is a gallery for the people to come and see how their representatives are discharging their responsibility. The public gallery, I wasn't speaking to anybody. I was sitting there alone. Nobody even flanked me. And so if you just see me and say, oh, Asiedu Nketia must leave, whilst other members of the public were in the public gallery.
Well, you must find the people. I mean, you could have shouted and no, which could have been counted as...
Oh, no. If you shout from the public gallery, everybody will isolate that voice. The chamber can be classified into maybe three. You have the floor of the House.
And the plenary.
The floor down there. If you are not qualified, you are not an elected member, you can't be there, or a minister of state or a vice president. All other people, or clerks of parliament, all other people must come there at the invitation of the speaker. So you cannot be there. So when there is budget reading, the speaker invites all of us. Ministers of state and the vice president, according to the constitution, can participate in the business of the House, but they cannot vote. Yeah. So when it comes to voting, they have no business in the House any longer.
But I mean, the majority says that the speaker was too harsh on the finance minister.
Why?
I mean, threatening to get the marshal effective from the plenary. This is the finance minister of this country.
If the speaker orders, and so he is not a speaker of this country. The speaker has ordered, and the speaker's orders must be obeyed. So if the speaker orders that those ministers who are not members of parliament must leave upon the ringing of the bells for a division by the majority themselves. So you have called for a division. When there was a voice vote, did you see Mr. Speaker walking out the ministers? No, they were sitting there and Mr. Speaker took the voice vote. Whether they participated in the shouting or not, nobody knows. But because it is a voice vote, Mr. Speaker did not mind. But if you specifically call for a division, then there is a procedure for division in the standing orders. And it means that the lobbies must be cleared. Anybody who does not have a vote must leave. So that Mr. Speaker will call another voice vote. In that case, then the voice cannot be diluted by non-voters. So he will hear the voices of elected members. If after hearing the voices of the elected members and declaring, if people are not still satisfied, then you proceed to do actual counting. And the counting is done by getting people in the lobbies. And then when the no gate is there and the yes gate is there. So when people are entering by the yes vote, you write their names and mark them.
You do the counting from there.
Then you do the counting, and the counting is on record. Their names will be there. So you cannot say that I don't have the right to vote. And when Mr. Speaker, and you have called for that special voting, and when Mr. Speaker says that, but where I'm sitting, how does it, I'm sitting as a different person.
So your decision not to leave,
yes.
I mean, force the majority side of the House to boycott the whole process.
So
you're excited about that?
I'm very excited about that because they were insisting on the wrong thing. In a democracy, when people insist on wrong things and you give in, you are doing appeasement. Appeasement doesn't help democracy in any way. So insist on your right and let them know that they are wrong. They are insisting on a non-existent right. They don't have the right to drive a member of the public away from the public gallery. It is only the Speaker who can order people from the public gallery when he declares.
The Speaker could have done that easily.
Yes, he could have done. Yeah, he could have done that.
He favored you. Is that what it is?
Nobody appealed to the Speaker.
Oh, I saw.
You are appealing to the Speaker. Right. It must be, your appeal must have a foundation in the standing orders. You must say that, Mr. Speaker, according to orders so and so, nobody should sit in the gallery with a smoke, dressed in a smoke, or whatever. If the Speaker thinks that it is based on the standing orders, he can then make an order. But you just get up and you are shouting, Asiedu Nketia, go away, Asiedu Nketia, go away. It amounts to nothing.
Your side of the House, I mean the NDC, have rejected the budget.
Parliament has rejected the budget. It is not...
Well, Nketia disagrees with you. He says that's unconstitutional.
Parliament...
You agree with him?
Oh, why? Is this the first time that a side of the Parliament has walked out? Go and look at the records. When, but no big, bills and others that have been passed when the NDC walked out of the House. So it is nothing. If you walk out of the House and the House still has the needed, quorum to operate, it doesn't stop the House's business. The House's business continues. So unless they can cite any part of the Constitution or standing orders that says that the numbers that were present were not sufficient to take a decision or something, that decision stands.
And today, there are those who are accusing the NDC of disrupting government business, clearly. And then this is my final question to you, sir.
No, we are not.
You have rejected the budget. You are going to disrupt government business for the year 2022.
We are actually helping government business. Because government is not a human being. Government is made up of aggregation of appointees. So we are helping the president to know the mistakes that their appointees are committing so that we can together help to correct those mistakes. And then when you are operating, a budget is approved, then we can rest assured that that budget is going to work in the interest of the taxpayers who will be contributing the money. So if anybody says that because you have rejected the budget, it means you are frustrating government. They should go and ask United States of America how many times have US even not voted to cause a lockdown. In our case, this cannot cause any lockdown because we have rules which provides that when the Minister of Finance realizes at any point in time that the Appropriation Act cannot be done before the beginning of the year or whatever, he comes for a vote on account.
Thank you so much for